it sometimes can mess with like liquor stores when it's like you've got a brand new distillery, they're just getting started, they're putting out products, the liquor store buys into your story, buys into everything that you're doing, gets cases and cases, and then 6 months, a year later, it's like they're stuck with it.
That's kind of the way of a lot of the little pop-up brands. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but there are quite a few brands that I saw maybe in the last 2 years at the Texas Whiskey Fest that you'll never see again, but you'll see them on the bottom shelf tucked away in some dusty corner because they got stuck with them.
Yeah. And
at some point, the liquor store owner's going to eat it and like give them away to his buddies for a white elephant Christmas present, and then somebody's going to gift them off to somebody else.
And it makes it tough, when you're a new brand to break into the market because that thought is in the head of the restaurant, the bar, and the liquor store. It's like, why should I take this product if you're just going to be another flash in the pan? And how do I know you're going to take care of me? And salespeople can be aggressive. It's rummy rum.
Rum?
It's rummy rum. It's funky rum.
I don't really let anybody taste this.
Secret tasting.
This is wild fermented maple syrup.
Ooh.
Double distilled through my little tiny pot still.
I had so many questions. I was traveling up to New Hampshire, and one of my stops was supposed to be at a maple syrup distillery.
It's an expensive way to make booze, buddy. Expensive way to make booze.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
It's crazy town.
Yeah.
How expensive it is. So this was made, we bought 4 maple syrup barrels, and this was just made from the ooze that I harvested off the inside, which was probably about 2.5 gallons. Maybe like $125 worth of maple syrup.
Ooh, it's anise. It's anisey. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, so I had so many questions. I wanted to stop and talk to the distillery, and they were having a staff party. I couldn't go in. And it's like, wait a second, are they taking the sap, and then are they turning the sap into the beer or the wine? Or are they actually taking maple syrup,
boiling it
and
down,
then boiling it down, reducing it, and then fermenting the syrup?
So I'm pretty sure that's sap. The barrels I got, I don't think they were actually aging syrup in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were aging sap and letting it evaporate.
Right.
Because what I poured out of those barrels was
thin,
watery, man. And I think, do I still have it? I might have some of it.
Because that's the thing, like what are they doing and how are they doing it? And the starting point and the ending point are going to be different things. Ooh.
So I took some of it and reduced it down.
There's some oak chips in there?
Yeah, I was going to finish something with maple oak.
Maple oak.
It is.
That is, yeah.
Maple syrup.
Here, put this in your face.
But the syrup barrels were Long Pond barrels, just to compound the weirdness even more. So that was
actually not bad.
That was maple syrup that came out of Long Pond barrels that I then wild fermented and distilled.
Ooh, that's nice and sweet. That's pancakes.
Woo! I like that a lot.
That's totally pancakes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that. That's good stuff there.
The syrup?
Yeah.
It's excellent.
I like that a lot.
The whole place, like I had 2 5-gallon buckets, each one with about 2.5 gallons of that maple sap syrup in it. And I took all 1 bucket and threw it into a stock pot and reduced it for like probably 6 hours throughout the day on like the lowest setting on the freaking hot plate. Just go stir it every once in a while, and it turned into that. And I think we got 5 or 6 bottles of maple syrup out of it, and then I fermented everything else. Made weird booze.
Yeah.
There's an oaky version of it somewhere. That's it. If I spin on those little oak chips.
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half? I haven't tasted this one in forever either.
And these are some of the stories that I really want to have with people. You know, the struggle is real stories. You know, and it's tough because a lot of people don't want to tell you all of the things that went wrong. But that's how we learn.
I like that as well.
That kind of reminds me of like Roulaison, if you've ever had any of their rum. It's real similar. They do a bunch of crazy like wild ferment stuff.
Yeah, that's got
Different things in it.
yeah, herbal.
And it's not rum. It wants
Yeah.
to be rum. It
Yeah.
wants to trick you into it, but it's not. It's maple syrup that's fermented.
Yeah, and there's like again, it's got that anise, absinthe type of thing going on. But wow,
It's strange.
it is strange.
Can't do anything with it.
No.
I got 2 bottles, man. One with, one without. Like once a year, I'm like, you should come taste this. I haven't tasted it in about a year. We'll get into it. Yeah, oh, that's weird. Weird stuff.
Daniel told a story one time about this guy who created this blend, and the batch was so small, but it was like his magnum opus. He only had 2 bottles because he had to make a larger batch, and it wasn't the same when he tried to increase the size of the batch. And he had 2 bottles left in his safe in his office, and that was basically the culmination of a life's work in 2 bottles in a safe in his office.
This is pretty fun. All the unlabeled bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff nobody will ever get to taste.
Ooh.
That is my personal infinity bottle.
Oh, personal infinity.
It is the last 2 years of Andalusia dumps, plus a few select barrel samples that just need to go in there.
It's soft. You would expect it to be a little bit more present on the nose with what you just described to me.
It ebbs and flows though. Sometimes it's really crazy and sometimes it's just silky and creamy. Like right now it's like a strawberry shortcake. It's pretty delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
So what's this a blend of again?
The last 2 years of Andalusia whiskey.
Just
barrel
all of them.
dumps. Everything, plus some select barrel samples here and there.
Wow. Do you know what this is?
What's this?
That's single mom for Crowded Barrel.
Ooh.
The contracts have begun. Shh, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I don't know how secret it is and what we can say about it.
I don't
I've been
know.
telling everybody.
Yeah.
They're like on a tour and they're like, oh, what is this? They're like, oh, we're making whiskey for people now. You know, we've got a giant still. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Crowded Barrel lives on the internet. I think they'll be okay.
Yes.
All of
And
the
like
secrets.
the internet chose this,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yes.
I think, as far as I know,
Yep. Yep.
they probably knew about it before I knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
At least inside the Patreon.
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
Yeah. This is a scaling up.
Very much so, scaling up.
Yeah, it's amazing because this much beer is this much whiskey.
Yeah. That 25% return every time you push it through a still.
I used to do on the tours, I'd tell people this is the actual definition of the word decimate. You are left with 1/10 of what you started off with.
That's pretty high proof. You can't smell anything but alcohol.
Yeah. Did they come here and do the cuts with you?
Kyle hung out with me while I did cuts. I made him taste stuff, and he tasted a lot more of the bad stuff than I taste.
Yeah.
But gotta learn somewhere, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. It was kind of fun having him for class. You know, he asked things like, "What temperature do you make your cuts at, and what proof?" And none of that matters, man.
Right.
You do it by taste and
Yeah.
senses.
Yeah. Actually, Peter Schumacher, the guy who.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
Peter in a long
he's supposed to be coming today too.
Today, really?
Yeah.
Cool, man. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.